Basically, body just wasn't accustomed to that amount of volume. After about 6 kilometers of running, I ended up getting cramp in basically every muscle in my lower body. Some of you might know that I've just decided to sign up to my second ever Hyrox Pro. So my first Hyrox Pro was about 3 years ago. I've been out of the game for quite a long time, but in that time I have helped and seen a lot of people do their Hyrox Pro races. Now that I'm sitting down to think about how I'm going to structure my training to prepare myself for this race, it's also given me a good opportunity to look back at my first ever Hyrox Pro and take away a few key things that A, I wasn't very happy with, and B, I definitely don't want to repeat those mistakes when I do Hyrox this time round. So the first one is actually to do with my preparation. When I did my first Hyrox, I hadn't done much running leading up to race, and I thought, well, there's only 8 kilometers of running in a race, so how much running do I really need to do if I want to be able to crush this race? So I decided, well, I don't need to do any more than 8K because that's all I need to do in the race. Why that was an issue? Number one, rock zones. The transitions between the functional stations back to the actual running track is a sneaky amount of extra volume. Number two is that when you're just running 8K all the time, the most amount of time on your feet is however long it takes you to complete 8K. Now, when you actually think about a Hyrox race, whilst you are only running 8K, you're actually spending maybe double that amount of time being on your feet because of the time spent in the transitions and on the functional stations. So what actually ended up happening to me on race day is after about 6 kilometers of running, maybe it's even 5 kilometers of running, I ended up getting cramp in basically every muscle in my lower body. Basically, body just wasn't accustomed to that amount of volume and constant work. In this prep, 100% I'm going to run more. I want to get to a point where I'm running about 14 to 16 kilometers in a week minimum. Number two, one of the other mistakes I made when I did my first Hyrox Pro race was I did all of my simulations without including sled work in there, which is really stupid when I look back on it. But I thought, given my history, playing rugby where we push sleds almost every single week, I'd be absolutely fine with it. It's just got to move this object not very far. How hard can it be? So when I actually did the race, I decided to do each of my sled pushes unbroken. So basically constant work all the way to the end, quick turnaround, pushed it back. To be honest, pushing the sled once the momentum starts wasn't actually that challenging. The impact of doing that was actually after that sled push. A massive increase in heart rate and breathing rate, excessive amount of blood in the legs, and probably aggressive levels of lactate that started to accumulate because you're having to use your fast twitch muscle fibers to dig in and finish those sled pushes. So this time round, no more unbroken sled pushes. I'm going to be breaking up those sled pushes into small segments, keep heart rate, blood flow, breathing rate, lactate levels as low as possible. So my third mistake looking back was that I didn't think that I would need supplementation or snacks along the way. I hadn't trained with it, so I thought, well, if I didn't train with it and I got through my training pieces okay, why am I gonna need it on race day? Now, at about the 5 to 6K mark, when the cramp started to set in, I started to realize that my blood sugar levels were pretty low and I needed to do something about these cramps. Thankfully, some of the spectators had some energy gels, which I know I got told off as apparently against the rules. You cannot receive assistance from spectators, but it was a fast Hyrox, so please forgive me. So I was able to shove a gel and some cramp liquids down me, and it made a massive difference to allow me to kind of kick on for the last 25% of the race. This time round, come prepared. I will have my energy gels, I will have my carbohydrate gels, and I will be taking them at around the 40 to 50 minute mark of this race. So if you're interested in following along my journey and learning how I'm going to be preparing myself for this Hyrox Pro over the next 12 weeks, I have recorded a YouTube video where I break down the entire 12-week cycle. I talk about the why, what, and how behind the training program. So hopefully you can take away some valuable insight to help you in your Hyrox race or to help the clients that you're helping in their Hyrox races.